Unit 2, Assignment 1. You're going to pull a picture of a poster from the internet or take a picture of one on campus that you think is strong. And you're going to describe visually why I like this poster because. This exercise is going to be repeated at the end of the unit. You're going to actually do it now, kind of based off of the limited knowledge that you have coming into the unit, and then you're going to do it again once you've already created a poster and done some research. So this first one here, this is a poster that I like, and here are the reasons. I like the color blue. It reminds me of the mountain. I think it's appropriate, and it pertains to the subject matter. I also like the downward angle. It reinforces the concept of mountain biking. So by placing the text on this angle, it's reminiscent of the idea of a mountain biking marathon. Lastly, I like the offset. So I like how these elements, like the mountain bike marathon championships and the information down here, is kind of offset just a little bit off the center line. And I communicated this with a red arrow here. I said, okay, the spacing of this is smaller than the spacing here, even though it should be theoretically. You know, if you go by the laws of geometry, it should be the same size if they're centered. So that means that everything's kind of pushed down on the canvas just a little bit. So I said this space is offset downward just a little bit. So it places a little more emphasis on the mountain biker and the sky. Very simple. There might be other reasons why you like it and you think it works, but you know, you can just bring it down to 2 or 3 elements. Remember, you're not going to be telling us, you know, I like this because I like this movie. I like this poster because I like mountain biking. That's not what we're asking for here, so don't do that. Try and focus on why you think perhaps the layout or the font chosen, or the color, or any of these things relate to one another. So think about, what is the overall message? What's the intended audience for this, and you know, what are they supposed to be understanding about this poster? In this particular case, who are the actors in this movie Anatomy of a Murder by Otto Preminger? So it's you know, I think this works because it's simple. It leaves a bit of mystery, murder mystery movies. So it's simple and it doesn't reveal too much. So it keeps me interested. These are some of the reasons I like this poster. So I just drew out an arrow here, and you saw me doing that. I'm going to double click on it. And if you need to change the line color, you can just select this little arrow and select the color here. And now we can use the Alt Option key and pull down another arrow, so I don't have to redraw and recolor. The next thing is, I think I'm going to kind of shrink this arrow a little bit. There we go, so it lines up. See how it lines up? It gives you a little guide, tells you that you're lining up here. But I also want to move it south just a little bit. I don't want to cover up the heavy line break between the orange and the yellow, but I also at the same time want to get as close as possible because I'm going to add a text box. Click out onto the canvas and then hit the text box tool here, and then we'll write in unequal space and line placement relates to, and let's see, I don't want it to return right there. I need it to kind of be on the same line, so I can just kind of pull it out here. And maybe I'll come back in, I'll give it 3 dots, you know. And now I can use the Alt Option key and pull out this arrow again, just so I need multiple, because I need multiple arrows and I don't have to redraw them every time. And let's see, I'm going to put relates to, maybe I'll pull this a little bit closer, something like this. There we go. I think it looks pretty good. The body. Okay. And notice I don't have to say a whole lot about everything. I don't have to explain too much with words. I'm using arrows to call out elements of the design that I think really work. Lastly, I like the colors, so oops, I'm going to go over here, go to rectangles. I'm going to draw out one. Use the Alt Option key to sample the colors from the rest of them here. Move them in a little bit. a little bit closer together. Boom. It kind of snaps together. And now if you want to double click on the shape, go to the fill, fly out, and then use the more colors option. I don't think that you can sample the color. Maybe you can. No. I don't think there is an option to do that. If you find a way, let me know. I haven't explored it enough, but anyway, I'm going to try and match the color here, so I'll just move my slider close to yellow, and since this is selected, well, I actually feel like I got kind of lucky there. I'm trying to match that same yellow. I think his yellow is a little more orangish. Yeah, that's about right. Changes the color. Maybe it's not quite right. Go back to the fill and maybe make it a little bit more yellow. You don't have to fuss too much. Same thing for this one. Let's make it orange. And we go to the little fill fly out here. More colors. And what is it? It's like kind of close. It's a little more red. I think that looks pretty good. Might be a little bit darker here, so slide that down. Okay. Yeah. Good. And then this one's easy. It's black. There's only 3 colors in this whole thing. That made it easy. And you know, I just realized actually this is kind of like a Halloween kind of color palette. Something to do with a murder mystery, I guess. You know, maybe that's a long shot, but colors seem to work well together. Forgot how to spell. Anyway, that can be your diagram right there. That's all you need to do. You know, 2-3 elements that you think work well together and that relate to the message. Lastly, you're going to do a file and save as. You can't see my screen up here because I've reduced the size, but you can do save as pictures. I believe that's how you do it. And the file format is a JPEG. You can see that on my screen here. So I did file save as pictures. Not save as, but save as pictures. And then let's see, I'll just put on my desktop for now. JPEG looks good. And that's all you need to do. Each slide of your presentation has been saved as a specific JPEG, so you'll have to go in and pull out the one that's going to be your submission.